Hey, my name is Derek. If you're watching this video, you're probably dealing with a door that's not closing as well as it used to or as well as it should. Today I'm going to show you how to fix it with things that you have at your home, some longer screws, maybe 3-inch screws, some toothpicks, a drill, and if you don't have a drill, probably just a screwdriver. We may need some weather stripping like this, we may need a chisel, but let's get into it and see what your problem is and how to fix it. In our case, this is an exterior door to our garage, and it's just not latching as well as it used to. It used to be that you could give it about that much pressure and it would just close, and now the wind can blow it open, it can come open on its own. So we're gonna check this plate here and make sure that it's latching correctly. We're gonna make sure that it's on its hinges correctly. We're gonna move that latch if we have to, and we're gonna sink in some stronger screws, longer screws, to make that door sit properly. The first thing you wanna do is diagnose your problem. So for us, it's just closing, but not all the way. You can pull it back open without turning the knob. That's gonna be our problem. But a lot of times you might notice you've got some play here. If you open the door halfway and you kind of wiggle it, you might notice, wow, it's not as firm as it probably should be. In which case, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to these hinges here. Some of these hinge screws are gonna be short and some of them are gonna be long. And what we'll do is simply swap out some of the short screws for longer screws. This is an exterior door. It has 4 screws, and I'm going to show you, I can see that one of these is actually going to be a longer screw. If I pull these out, you'll see that most of these screws are just tiny. Look, this is only a 1/2-inch screw. So what we'll do, we'll pull out this other one so we can see what we've got in there. This is obviously a much longer screw, 2.5, 3-inch screw. What we'll do is swap out some of these smaller screws just on the door jamb, not on the door itself, with these longer screws. We'll do that now. I don't know if you noticed, but I did not like the way that that went in. It didn't feel like it had a very secure fit. So we're gonna pull it up. I can feel it spinning, which means this has happened before. We're gonna pull that screw out. I'm gonna show you a little hack. This is such an easy do-it-yourself hack. But if you have a screw that's going into a hole and it's just spinning, it's not gripping on there, what I want you to do is take a toothpick, shove it into the hole as far as you can. That one went all the way. Then take another one, shove it in as far as you can, and we're just gonna tap that one with a hammer. Let's see if we can get another one in there too. So we'll put a third, tap it in as far as we can. If it breaks off, that's totally fine. So now what's gonna happen is this screw that was going in there and it was just spinning, it wasn't working, it wasn't gripping anything. Now that screw has got to compete with these different little toothpicks, and it's gonna go in there and it's going to find its way and be a strong and secure fit. See that? Much stronger. Let's do the other one. In this case, I'm trying to stuff this toothpick in, and I can feel that that's just hitting the back of the board there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sink a long screw in. No need for the toothpick for this one. It felt secure. We're gonna test for wiggle, for play, one more time. Open the door. I can still feel a tiny bit, so we're gonna go to this bottom and replace a couple of those with long screws as well. In the process of fixing this door, what I noticed, and I hope you can see this, is down here at the bottom, I think there's probably about a 1/4 inch, maybe even more gap, but up at the top, it's touching. So this door is actually skewed this way, it's rubbing against this spot. So the way to fix that is to sink our screws in as tight as possible up here, and maybe even loosen them down there to make the door more square. I've used the toothpick method, that little life hack. I've jammed as many toothpicks as possible into here so that we can really sink those screws in and try to get a strong fit up top. We've tested each one of those 3 hinges and we have replaced the major screws on the 3 hinges. There's a lot less play now. This door is very secure. It still didn't solve our problem. It's not shutting all the way. Let's move on to this latch plate. What's happening with this latch plate is either one of 2 things. Either this isn't positioned exactly right, or the latch on the door has worn down and it's not closing properly all the way. I've already checked that and my latch is closing. It's opening and closing okay when you turn that doorknob. But in this case, I think what we want to do is lower this latch plate and bring it a little bit closer to the door so that it can close securely every time. We've taken off those screws. We're gonna remove this latch plate, and I wanna show you something. You can see where the latch is hitting on this plate, and I can see that it is right down, it's not in the middle, it's right down below here. So that makes me think that we need to move this down just a little bit. We'll use our toothpicks again to fill these holes so that we can get a nice strong fit. Since we're gonna move this down and forward, the first thing we'll do is just use a utility knife to score the little area where we're gonna move it down. So I'm gonna score about 2 millimeters, and I think that should help our latch to hit right in the center of this latch plate. I'm gonna use my chisel now just to chisel out this little part. We'll use some wood glue for that and not tell our wife. Chiseled a little too much there, no worries. We'll just use some wood glue. No one will know the difference. And some painter's tape. Now we filled those holes with toothpicks, as many as we could fit in there, broke them off, put some wood glue in, and that's actually just filling these holes with wood. So now what we'll do is put this latch plate right back on, and I really like the position of that because it's gonna be right below and to the right, which is right where I need it to be. We'll go ahead and screw that in. Let's give that a try. I don't know that you can see it on the video, but this door closes so much easier. Just a normal push, a child's push. We'll go ahead and shut that. The very last thing that we'll do is, of course, WD-40 on those hinges. That's it. Strengthen the screws, put longer screws into those hinges. On the door jamb side, make sure that that latch plate is positioned exactly how you want it. Move it forward if you need to. The other thing that we didn't do is sometimes you need to replace your weather stripping, which looks like this. Sometimes it gets hard, and if it gets hard and stiff, then that can impede your door from closing all the way. But we fixed it. Watch this. Closes all the way, locks, latches, without having to slam it. Thanks for watching.